Okay, walk me through this again. My Divisão de Infanteria,
Yeah.
I have it currently 12 width, combat width.
Right.
Okay.
You want to get it to 20.
I have
20 is good.
20,
Yeah.
so I need to add another one to the side here?
Here's what
Or
I go for.
Is it deep or
If you
wide?
go for 8 infantry, so a row of 3, a row of 3, a row of 2, 1 artillery, 1 anti-tank, and then whatever support divisions you want. That's what I tend to go for. Okay. I'm not
What,
saying
artillery and support, or do you put an
No,
artillery...
I have an artillery and an anti-tank in the main battle lines.
What, in the back?
Yeah,
At the
yeah.
back?
It doesn't matter where you put them. It actually doesn't make a difference where you put them, apparently.
Okay.
So,
So
but
my
I do it
combat
just to
width
look
is now
tidy.
15.
Right, but do
If I
you
put this at the back. I've got a row of 3, a row of 3, and now I'm at the back row is going to have an artillery and
an
something
anti-tank,
else.
and then to the right of those rows of 3 of infantry, have another 2 infantry, and that'll equal 20.
Yeah, the classic is like the 7 infantry, 2 artillery. So 7 infantry, 2 artillery. That's the classic 20 combat win, 7-2, like standard thing. You can add support units, you don't have to.
I have the
You can-
anti-tank because it's good for taking out tanks.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not going to fight State 37, P-Flax. We can add
What?
the anti-tanks later.
Right, I'm just saying.
No, that's what he wants. That's his aspiration.
Right.
He aspires to that.
I mean,
He's
you
not
could go
saying
to
he's doing it
40.
right now.
You can get like a big 40 combat unit if you want, and actually some people quite like that. Like certain units are obviously like Mountaineers, for example, and Marines. Let's have a look. They actually have pretty good strengths. So, for example, I think Mountaineers get attack and defense, a lot of attack and defense on mountains and hills, and there are a surprising amount of hills around. And Marines get additional attack and defense on marsh, river, which often you are attacking over a river. And so Marines have 40% river attacks. And Marines are not terrible, but by default, the Marines the design you get isn't very good. So some people like...
I just researched them as well.
Some
Marines.
people like making their Marines like a 40 width Marines.
Right.
And then you can send 2 of them on a naval invasion, and they will usually capture anything.
Wow. Okay.
With that, because they're like that's the
pretty
80
good.
width, and they're just shit tons of Marines. That is the hot tip. 40
That's
width
the hot
Marines.
tip.
But obviously you have
40
to have
width
quite a lot
Marines.
of army experience to spend to get those.
That much, yeah, to get that, yeah. Fuck.
And then you have to train the bastards.
I actually turned the music off.
But you're eating P-Flex.
What was I eating?
Yeah.
Why do you turn the music off? It's fucking incredible.
I'll tell you
man.
what I'm
So-
eating, Lulu. Essential. This is from the Waitrose Essential range. Barbecue crunchy coated peanuts.
Fuck you. I'm going to get something. Hang on.
They're
I'll be back
so
in 2 seconds.
good, dude.
That's the
Essential.
worst.
I'm fucking starving. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay. He's leaving his dad garage.
Yeah, I heard the keys being
Yeah.
picked up.
He has to unlock.
When you hear this noise, Dad's doing some shit. Hold on, give me a minute. Yep, go on my way. Yep.
Dad is doing some shit. Oh, fuck it out. Let's get some artilleries being built. I feel like artilleries are a pretty helpful, pretty important thing for us
Artillery's
here in
good.
Spain.
Very, very good.
I'm getting my extra research slot going. Everything is happening here in Phalanges, Spain. What's going on in Italy?
We're teching up. I've got 5 tech things now, which is pretty sweet.
You got 5 research slots.
Yeah.
Damn.
Hey, guess what I got?
What?
Palm bears.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's such a dad food as well, isn't it?
It's
That's
like
the closest thing.
they're the kids' crisps, and you're just like, fucking, they're not here. They're mine.
We buy them in bulk.
Do you?
We got like a box with like 50 bags in it, and it was like £5 or something. It was crazy.
That's nice.
Yeah. Palm bears for days.
So
Weeks.
What's the plan here, fascist brothers?
It's 1937, all right? The plan is we're going to form a faction of Southern European bros, obviously.
Right.
The subs, okay? SUBs, Southern European, because European is spelled with a U in this case. Bros, the subs. And we're going to take out France and nick a load of their fucking resources in the south of France there.
Okay.
I'm going to polish off Africa. Obviously, you guys should do the same.
Okay, so this France is extremely mountainous. looks like, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. You just hold them, and I'll scold them.
Have you
All
got
right.
mountain troops?
I'm making mountain troops as we speak, friend, and I
Okay.
already
You gotta
have some anyway.
know when to hold
So are you going to
them.
just sweep across the whole of
We're gonna go west
north of Africa?
as fast as we can.
Okay.
This is in France. Africa, we're gonna go west. You're gonna go east,
Okay.
and I'm gonna kick the Brits out as well, and we'll seal
I
off
should
the map.
hopefully be fascist by the time this happens. If
Sick.
it does happen, can I please have Corsica?
Of course.
Your
Thanks.
Corsica's yours.
Of course.
Corsica,
Of course.
Corsica, you
Of
can.
course. Corsica.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So did I see that Marines have a bonus in desert? No. Who has a bonus in desert? No one.
I mean, if we're going after France, we might as well. I'm gonna go get fucking French Guiana as well.
Fucking
I'm gonna
get 'em.
I'm gonna get their colonies and shit.
Get 'em.
You might as well, and maybe fuck them up in Africa
Fucking
too.
get 'em.
Fucking get them.
Oh shit!
Oh
Stuff's
man,
happening.
Hindenburg kicked right off.
Hindenburg's gone.
It's gone. It's gone.
Right, there is my extra research slot. Job done. Let's get 2 more civilian factories.
It's going to be like 2 years before we can really have a good old-fashioned war up. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just as long as you're ready. It's not going to be like a, hey, it's war in 1937. Like, I don't think we're in that position because we've got to get you guys in, and you guys are hamstrung by the very nature of the nations that you're playing. Specifically, Spain is obviously you're tied to the fact that, you know, you're not allowed to join a war or a faction. There's all this reluctance and stuff. Whether that applies, so you're fascist, you need world tension at 50% to join a faction, for example. Okay, we could join a faction right now if we wanted to.
All right.
No, we don't
So
need
I
to.
could ask to join the Nazis if I wanted to, like right now, and they would be like,
No, don't.
get in here. I'm just saying,
I,
because we're way down, we're ready. You know,
Well,
we
listen,
want.
are Germany going to be able to beat the Allies
Us.
without us?
What do you mean without us?
Without you-
We're going to
without
be at
you.
war with the Allies too.
we're going to war with everybody, right? Like, if we pull this off, the end of this game will be Portugal, Spain, Italy
In
controls
charge.
the whole world.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
We'll puppet the shit out of people. We'll take them out.
You like to puppet,
div-
huh?
No, I don't actually, but I just think it's
Sips
fun
is
to
the
do.
puppet master.
The puppet master.
Master.
We need to have another. What was the big fleet battle, Trafalgar, where England and Spain fought? Was that it? Battle of Trafalgar.
That was against Napoleon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, where's Waterloo?
Not sure that-
Was it Waterloo then?
Waterloo was also against Napoleon.
What was
Yeah,
the
I
one where
don't
we
think-
defeated the Spanish Armada, and the year after that they defeated us?
That was. I think we just beat him in the Channel, didn't we?
Was that not anything to do with either Trafalgar or Waterloo?
No, that was much earlier. That
Well,
was the time
that's
of
how-
Elizabeth I.
My knowledge of the Napoleonic Wars is very bad. That's
a
like my
fascinating
one area of
period.
history, which
Like
I'm
you should read it. It is so interesting.
I will. That's my next thing. Man, I'm just so much good stuff in history, isn't there? Holy shit.
How can you say that? You didn't even know when the fucking Napoleonic Wars were.
Well,
Yeah.
they were a time. They were
I don't
thing.
know either. But
Hell of a time they were. That's all I can say.
I mean,
about that.
when I went to school in Canada, though, we didn't get taught any of that shit. Like,
Well, yeah,
we
you had your
just-
own history.
We got taught like a lot of Canadian history, which is not that interesting, and a bit of American, but not much. And it was, yeah. I mean, Canadian history is okay. Just a lot of like being shitty to Native Americans, basically.
Yeah.
That's
I
all
also
it
find
was.
any history that involves very simple, a colony, and they grew corn there, and they
yeah,
cut
it was
down
all
the
like
trees, and they built
beaver
a
fur
log
trading
cabin,
and
I
stuff.
Think, oh,
yeah.
that's not as interesting as, that he went,
A
went to war with the
gigantic
Pope or
fleet
whatever.
of warships, and yeah,
It's kind
I know
of,
it's
it's a bit grand.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So I was reading about the German colonial empire, right?
Yeah.
For some reason, and I think they owned they had Venezuela, I think, at one point, and they had the colony in China called, which is now Qingdao, which is like the 4th largest city in China now. And I can't remember where it is, but they obviously during World War One, the British and Japanese were allies, and they just turned up and just bombed the whole place into the ground and just took it over.
Jesus.
Basically, as soon as World War One started, all of Germany's assets got snapped up immediately. I think they had a little bit of South. They had a little bit of South Africa here, I think, where I am looking now. the sort of, you see South Africa's sort of quite big at the moment. It's not as big as that nowadays, because I think some of it's broken off into, I can't remember what it's Mozambique or something maybe. I can't remember. But yeah, Germany had all of these little bits and bobs across the. Well, it didn't really have very many. That's the thing, but it was interesting to see which bits it did have, and it certainly wasn't able to hold on to them in any way, shape, or form. It was part of like the scramble for Africa, you know. And Germany was a little bit disjointed when that was all going on, and so they were a bit late to
late
join
to the
in.
party.
Yeah, the scramble for Africa, was that like Cecil Rhodes and stuff?
I think so.
Because the British wanted to link up the north and south of Africa, which they did do. You see, you can even see it here. You can actually go all the way from North Africa all the way down to the south, which is a pretty big feat actually. To have.
Did you know
oh
that?
My God, look at the British Empire.
The Scots tried to found a colony. Did you know that? When we were doing all the colonizing and everything, they sent.
Really? Sounds amazing.
They sent. It's a big story. It's very tragic actually. They sent these guys off to form a colony, and it was a complete disaster, and everybody died. That's the short story. The long story is a bit more interesting, but yeah, you should read about it. Because I was playing Europa Universalis, and I was really interested in the fact that we discovered all this, or rediscovered, if you like, from a European perspective, all this land in North America. And obviously they had no idea just what, you know, the depth of the riches in that land, like the resources and the natural beauty, the ability to make enough food to basically feed everybody on the planet within this one block of land, which was just relatively defenseless. And everybody was like, holy shit, we've got to get a piece of this, because if we don't, one nation's going to go over there and take it all and just destroy everybody. So everybody's desperately snapping stuff up, and Scotland was like, we want in on this. And they sent these lads off, and it just didn't work out.
Whereabouts did they go?
Somewhere in the Caribbean or something?
A Scottish island. I think I get the impression that, like, it's funny how when you turn up somewhere, the countries that go places tend to end up with places that have a similar sort of climate to them, you know? So obviously Spain colonized areas of the world that were quite Spanish in climate. The UK colonized New England, you know, Canada and New Zealand and well, I mean, not exactly Australia, but the parts of Australia that are colder, I guess, ended up with more Brits living there. I don't know, it's familiar. I saw this this is interesting chart. It's called like what's it called? Like the COSA or something, where it basically it shows like all the world climates and what places are like. And so there's, you know, desert climates and subtropical climates, and Britain's very similar to New Zealand.
Yeah.
The sort of Mediterranean climate is very similar to sort of the California kind of thing. And there's loads of different ones, but yeah, some of them are completely.
I mean,
like Russia's almost entirely uninhabitable.
Yeah, it is.
Climate-wise.
But aside from the fact that I guess we maybe went for places that had similar climate, the fact is Canada is due east of England and all that, right? And and so is that northern part of the US. So I think if you're trying to navigate somewhere, if you could just go due east and hit it, that's probably a lot easier than going, it's due east and left a bit by 22 degrees. Maintain that over months of sea travel. Like if you just have to head in one direction, that's obviously going to be easier to navigate. So maybe it was
stay on the same line of latitude.
Yeah, you just stay there and you'll hit it. And it's kind of, I don't know if maybe that played a part.
But that was a big thing, wasn't it, as well? Because people sort of claimed everything to the west of them in a big line. Yeah. So there was these early American maps where France originally had these, or certain countries originally had these claims, and they just stretched west directly along the line of latitude or whatever. I always get those mixed up. And it claimed such odd territories. If it was still in function now, it would be this really odd stripe all the way across the US that would cover like basically all the way through like Detroit and across like through the middle of fucking like the west coast. Man, really weird. But that was definitely like a thing that people didn't really know how far the country went, so they just assigned these borders. They got a ruler down and put it on a map and just drew a big line, and we're like, yeah. Oh man, I talk a lot of shit, you guys.
Well, it's just chat, isn't it?
No, I mean you guys have been.
Yeah, we talk a whole lot of shit. All right, so it's tricky. The British Empire really is pretty beefy. I feel like
let's go for Azerbaijan. Come on. Start getting tooled up.
What?
We're going in.
I'm not going for fucking Azerbaijan.
We're hit-
I don't even
yeah,
know
we're
where it
hitting it
is.
hard.
Sips' secret goal.
We want the oil.
Secret achievement is the Portuguese take Azerbaijan.
Oh, is that
like-
an
yeah,
actual
yes.
achievement in the game?
No, that is
No.
Sips' meta
Oh.
achievement in his head.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not interested.
Well,
I can't
come
even
on,
find
get interested.
it. I can't even find
Get on
it.
my page.
Where
Go
is
on my
it?
level.
Azerbaijan is.
It's
Well,
like
vaguely, it's
near
in that middle
Iran.
bit, right? Yeah,
It's north of Iran,
Oh,
and
that
it's part
bit.
of.
Oh, you're crazy,
yeah.
homie. I'm not going.
Look at all the oil, though. There's a ton of fucking oil
Yeah,
there.
you're nuts. What the fuck? I'm not going all the way over there.
Whoa.
I had to go through 3 countries to get there.
Hey, you know what's going to be confusing though, Flax? Your country colors are very similar to mine. Like,
Yeah, we're both
it's
green.
gonna.
You're right.
We're both really dark green.
Well, we're
So
bigger,
when we
so you
start ta-
change.
Can I?
No.
Can I actually change
No, you can't.
my country color?
I don't believe you can, but it would be funny.
That would be really helpful.
That would be super fucking
being
helpful.
able to see.
Jeez.
Should totally be able to do that. shouldn't
Libyan
you?
refineries. Shit, yeah.
So you got what So the oil is now in Libya, is it?
Yeah, we got some oil.
Okay, good. I don't need
Crack
to.
out some infrastructure.
I don't really need to go anywhere down the fascism shit, which is nice for a change.
My fascist popularity is up to 29% in Portugal.
Okay.
If any of you guys want to boost, be good. Little boost.
I could probably do it after I have. Actually, I could probably do it soon. What else do I actually need? Any of these?
Give me a little boost.
Give me a little boosty boo.
I think I might have to build some tanks. You know.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not really going to be able to. How many? I mean, I've not really got very many naval dockyards. Sips wants to do that, and you're doing that a bit. I've not got the aluminium, and I don't really want to have to buy it all off you for like 1 million civilian factories. I've not got the oil refineries online either yet, but I'm going to use those for build. I reckon I should be doing tanks. I'll be the tank guy.
You're gonna be tank guy, okay.
Is that okay?
We're gonna need lots of them.
Yeah, I'll be the tank guy. I'll put some points. I'll put this point in 10% tank research. I'll quickly design a decent medium tank, and then I'll build a few refineries. Oh god, I'm really slow though. I'm still building civilian factories.
I'm still making. Yeah, I'm almost done with civilian. And then we're cracking on with the military, but it's slow going. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, it costs 13 grand to build a refinery, which
Yeah.
actually isn't as bad as you think. Like, it's 10,800 for a civilian factory, 13,000 for a refinery.
I mean, it's pretty complicated shit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you spend like you're gonna spend a factory usually to import
One
the oil
civilian
anyway.
factory for 8
They
oil.
did buff synthetic refineries. They now give 7 oil and
Yeah, it
4
was kind of fucking
rubber.
awful. I mean, it was good before if you were a small nation with no access to oil and no real, like, you can't spare the civilian factories. I guess it's not bad. And if you're cut off, it's good to have. Like, let's say you run out of convoys, or they sink all your fucking convoys, and you have no access to get any oil. It is kind of handy to be able to produce just enough to keep shit rolling. I don't know if it still affects, because in Hearts of Iron 3, running your troops around, like your tanks and stuff like that, would use up your stores of oil.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you had these stores of, like, when you traded, you literally just acquired this stuff, and you'd see this total going up to a total of 99999. That meant, you know, you had a fuckload of rare metals or whatever it was.
Right.
And your oil would go down when you were running your tanks around and shit. So now it just seems like you only need it to actually build them. You don't need it to run them, as far as I can tell. So you can have 1 billion tanks, and once you've built them, you could have 0 oil and they'd still run. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, team. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know. So, do you... I never
I'm
played
not
Hearts of
listening.
Iron 3.
Because it just says supply. Like, supply use 0.9. That's it. It doesn't say, like, this is how much supply. It's not geared like, this is how much oil it uses. This is how much X it uses and how much, you know, whatever. It's just literally a thing. You guys know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
I know what you mean.
Do
Yeah.
you,
The more
the
more you run, the more you
What,
use up the oil. I get it.
naval effort, anti-Comintern pact. Do we want to join that?
What with
Yeah,
the
dude.
Germans?
Fuck communism. I'm not joining.
Yeah.
I'm not joining the faction, but I don't want them to dislike me.
No, that's true. Yeah, it'd be good to have them on side for a bit.
Fuck communism. God.
Shit, we can't go support nationalist Spain. That's annoying.
Why not?
Because you're
Why
not.
not?
We'll be abandoned if you're not in a civil war. We could
Oh,
have.
because
We
they've
could have
already-
demanded the Balearic Islands.
Oh
And we could
shit!
have gone for Spanish-Italian alliance. We can do that anyway. We don't need to focus. I'm gonna get claims on Yugoslavia. Claiming it. Maybe I bring
You're
my
gonna take
African
it?
troops up here.
Nice.
They are crack troops, these boys. But they're down to trained now. They lost their regular status because I expanded them from 6 divisions to 8, so they lost the status. Do we want to stay in this hellhole down here and fight down here? I mean, there's like, what's down here even resource-wise?
What are you talking about?
Well, we've got Ethiopia, which has 2 rubber, right? And
Oh, it's
like,
pointless. Yeah.
I don't think it's worth sticking 80 divisions down here, so we're going to come home.
You
We
can
are
leave
gonna
like
come home.
2 or 3
Nah,
on the
we're
ports.
gonna fuck it. We're gonna take Yugoslavia. Avanzate! That means we're leaving.
Okay. Do they yell? Do they yell that?
Yeah, they do. Avanzate!
Mm.
They want to get out. They just want to leave.